Hello, I'm Will, I'm the Bald Book Geek, and since you guys have asked me to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. My college experience. I wish the title of this video was clickbait. I really do. And yes, I'm wearing a beanie hat. It's quite weird. Partly to cover up the fact that I cut myself shaving. On the other note, so let's start, shall we? So I did 3 years of art school in England. I went to West Suffolk College in Bury St Edmunds. And I started when I was 18 in 2006. Yeah, I'm that old. So I'm going to give a very British college experience here. If you're American and you're watching this, it's be very different. So do remember that. Probably, I'm trying to think, well, I don't know what the nearest equivalent of what I would have done in the States is, but here we go. So my first year was pre-diploma art design, and essentially that was the course you had to do because you didn't have the necessary stuff to get on the next course. Which is a load of bull, by the way. You didn't have to do that. There was a workaround that no one told me. Basically, pre-diploma is a taste of everything. So you do graphics design, fine art, and all photography and all of that, and that's pushed and squashed into one big thing. That was probably the best year out of the three. The tutors were a mixed bunch. We had Derek, who was a very intense tutor, and if you didn't quite have the same passion he did, he would kind of pick on you a bit. He would also do your work for you. He would pick up brushes and paintbrushes and just do it for you, and there were so many times where I just want to say, why don't you fuck off? Because he was that kind of person. He would micromanage everyone. He was very good at his job, but he was very much a micromanager, and he did my fucking head in. A lot. Where do we go from here? Jodie. She was probably our graphics person. She was the opposite. She wouldn't micromanage, but she was bitchy enough and had a way of just saying things in this really snide, bitchy tone that used to piss everyone off. Couldn't stand her with a passion. Couldn't stand her. I'm sorry, I couldn't. The other two were Tracy, who was our print work and sort of general everything else, and I think her name was Sarah. She was our photography tutor. She was good, but she let us get on with things. So, yeah. That was overall the best year, but taking into account when I was there, it was like tribal wars of indie, emo chat. It was just ridiculous, and I did not fit any of those stereotypes. Thankfully. My second year was completely mixed. National Diploma Art Design, for want of a better word, is a load of bull. It's essentially a more condensed version of the first year without photography. The first half was really good. I enjoyed it. It was great fun. A lot happened. Projects were really good. Second year was shit. One of my best friends left college and then come back, and that's a whole different story that's just ridiculous. And at the time I hated her for leaving, but now, with retrospect, there was a lot going on I didn't realise at the time, so sadly she's no longer with us. On that, we had the same tutor pool, more or less, except a few extra faces. We had a guy, I think his name was Craig Need, who is a great artist, someone I really like as an artist, and actually very good, very understanding. Had a tendency of being a bit of a dick, but then again I think that's true of most men in that profession. But then again, I don't think he meant it in a bad way. I think he was trying to be funny and it just didn't wash with some people. His sense of humour was quite dark, so I got it. So, yeah, I think people didn't read his sense of humour very well. And there was Jazz, someone, who was a fucking joke. I'm sorry, she was stoned half the time, so yeah, we never got anything done with her. We just did lots of endless drawing work, and things would overrun, and then it would just be a load of bull. And there was another woman, I can't remember her name, but she was kind of the same thing as Jazz Green, but still, yeah. The second year was blah. And jump cut. I'm sorry about that, someone FaceTimed me. I wish I could I need to turn network off when I'm doing this stuff. So yeah, the second year was kind of a very mixed bag, to the point of, personally as well, I was in quite a bad relationship, which did not help matters. And the only thing we did textiles in our last year, but I made a very cool bag, which I still own. And if you go on my Flickr, you guys can see some of this stuff. Then the third year happened. The third year was a disaster. I specialised in fashion design. So at the end of the second year, we're all given choice of specialising in one of four things: fashion textiles, graphics design, fine art, and something else, which I don't know what it was. The third year was a disaster from the get-go. I specialised in fashion. And this is the thing with me in fashion design. I love designing fashion. I hate sewing with a bloody passion. The fault of sitting... I hate it. I hate pattern cutting. I hate sewing. I can do it. I do it. But I fucking hate it. And so that's me being really honest. The projects were crap. I made a ridiculous kilt. Basically, our first project was a skirt with a yoke, a waistband. Yoke means waistband. And being one of only two guys in the room, I made a bloody kilt that, in my original head, was going to be tweed, and it was going to be just work a day with some leather. Oh no, that wasn't enough. It had to have this on it and that on it, and okay, I gave in. And what I wanted to do was lower the waist. I wanted to do all this stuff, and I've still got my notes. And the tutor, I can't think of her name, but she was the dragon lady from hell. She made everyone suffer. No one liked her. We got very little work done with her. And yeah, she was not easy, and just made you feel as if you were a complete idiot 99% of the time. And then there was like this orange cord on it. I could live with that. It wasn't my idea, but it worked. And then she was like, "Oh, put some leopard print on it." So for one, I had these little leopard print squares with foam underneath. Basically, I referred to them as the leopard testicles. That project was a fucking... Angie, that was her name. That project was a fucking joke. Sorry, Ange, but you're a bitch. And I have no qualms for saying that to you, because you made everyone suffer, and I'm still... I have no softness for. Then there was the wonderful Sue, who was our textiles person. And she was lovely, but she was so lenient with the class, it felt as if... Really? You're letting people get away with murder and bullshit. Which is not good. But yes, she was great, but very, very... yeah, lenient with certain people that she needed to be tougher on. The only project in my final year I'm proud of is a paper dress thing. And that's it. The rest of it is just garbage. I hated that final year. It didn't feel right. And from the get-go, it didn't feel right. I should have left after my second year. Do I have any college regrets? Do I say, yeah, I should have left. I should have done something else. What I will say, though, is college worth it? And more bloody jump cuts. Thank you to the person that kept FaceTiming me. So, was art school worth it? From a creative standpoint, from maybe an educational one, nah. Nothing I learnt in college I couldn't learn from evening classes or a book from the library. Most of it I knew how to do anyway. I just have a piece of paper saying I can do it. I never went on to university because I was creatively burnt out, and I hated art for the longest time after. I was done with it. I didn't care anymore. I was done with it. My words of advice, and this isn't on me, this is on me, maybe someone else is different. I always say that just because it's my experience doesn't mean it's everyone's. But I always say to people, if you're going to go to art school, I'm going to give you advice. Art school is not about creativity, it's about replication. You will do a lot of projects where basically you are copying other people. Sadly. I even had a tutor tell me to copy someone else's work once. It is not about creativity, it's not about the student, it's about ticking box and doing certain numbers. It's that simple. You are cattle. And that's all it is. Friendships from college won't last. In my experience, once people move on with their lives, they move on. I had 2 people from college tell me I've had 2 people in college basically tell me because I was gay they didn't want to be friends with me after college. Yeah, I know who you 2 are. One of them was this crazy Jehovah's Witness, and the other one was this sort of simple girl that wasn't really a friend. We carried her through college. Sorry, it's true, we did. Everyone did. I come out of college feeling very bitter, and it's taken me a long time to get over it. I'm lucky now. Creatively, I'm in a good place, but my creative energies are different. If I was going back, I would have done something like media, or I would have done something like, maybe just gone straight into graphics design. Rather than, which is a very oversaturated industry, which is one of those things. This hat is going to annoy me for days now. But my advice is go there and remember that. You are there to replicate other people's work, you are there to tick boxes, and you are there to hit certain targets. You are not there to be creative. That's my personal experience of art college. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you guys have had a similar experience. Tell me yours. I know this video has nothing to do with books, but I wanted to make it anyway. And as always, all of my links are in the doobly-doo, so please hit that subscribe and like button, guys. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.